There we go. Now we're recording officially. And welcome to another episode of the Sports Room. I am your host, UngarToTheMax. And with me today are two friends of mine who go way back to high school. So welcome to the show, Jared and Matt. So Matt, since I haven't seen you in, God, I don't know, like 5 years or so, you want to introduce yourself first?
Yeah, hey everyone. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show, Josh. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just graduated from Ashland in 2019, and I currently work at Nestle within the customer solution as a customer solutions analyst within the Business Solutions Center in Solon. So it's been going well. Yeah, just working, and that's about it. And I'm glad to be on the
So he
show.
doesn't get to, he's not the one tasting the chocolate chip cookies and all that.
No. I'm in the office. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right, you want to introduce yourself, Jared?
So yes, thank you for having me, Josh. Still in school, hopefully to finish. I'm at an online school called Park University. I work part-time at a deli shop near my house, and just, again, thank you for having me, Josh. I appreciate it. Always love to talk sports with you guys. It's great. I like to hear your opinions. And
So we're going back to the lunch table talking sports, or before
yeah.
the bell rang.
Whoever, I forget who used to be the lunchroom monitor. Was that Irillo? Might have been Irillo.
I think it was Irillo.
That was funny.
His wife actually works at Notre Dame now.
Oh, that's cool. What is
so I saw her like all the time while I was at NDC. And she would just call me Unger because that's what Irillo did.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was fun. So we're just going to talk general sports, and we'll specifically get into the Cleveland Browns because, you know, all three of us are Browns fans, and somehow, miraculously, we're off to a 4-1 start. I think it has to do with the year 2020.
Right.
But, well, I mean, 2020 has been very unpredictable, so just saying. But we'll get into the Browns in a little bit, but let me start off with this general sports question. So of the big four, you know, hockey, basketball, football, baseball, in terms of the pure game, how would you rank them in terms of unpredictability, with 4 being the most predictable and 1 being the most unpredictable? You get what I'm asking, right?
Like predict the outcome of the game?
No,
saying?
like just talking, like if you're forget like the TV or like, you know, TV and stuff, like commentators, and like just think about the pure game. Okay, so like let's say you buy tickets and you go to a game for each sport, and you're like, okay, which was the most unpredictable? Of like not knowing what you're going to see when you go to the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to start with this one, Matt?
Jared, what do you think?
So you asking both of us like how to rank hockey, you know, baseball, like
right. Not in terms of your favorites, just like
how 2020s viewed it. Are you saying like?
No, like I'm trying to think. Like
yeah.
Okay, let me give you an example so you kind of get the idea.
Okay.
So for me, basketball would be the most predictable because it's like you kind of know what you're going to see going into it. Like the players are going to be dribbling the ball up, and the defense is going to be there to stop them, and the offense is going to pass it around, shoot it, and take various types of shots. So I would make that the 4th most predictable. 3rd, I would put football because with football, you kind of know it's going to be like handoff, maybe a pass for 15 yards, you know, maybe the defense gets an interception for a pick 6, whatever. But it's basically handoff, pass, whatever. Whereas with baseball, like, you know, going in that there's 9 hitters coming to the plate in some capacity, and you know the pitcher and the defense are going to try and, you know, get those 3 outs, but you don't know if you're going to in the top or bottom, whatever, You don't know if you're going to see like a 5-run inning or like you might see a no-hitter or maybe you might see like a walk-off grand slam. That type of thing. And then I would put hockey as the most unpredictable because when you go to a hockey game, you're like, am I going to see a shootout game? Am I going to see a game that ends on like a penalty shot? Is the game going to go into overtime? Like, is the game going to have like some spectacular save that like you're going to remember for the rest of your life? Does that kind of make sense now?
Yeah, a little bit, I think.
You're still a little
Yeah,
bit
I mean,
confused?
Yeah, I think that if I were to do it, I think baseball would be like how you said, unpredictable with how you said with scoring runs coming back. There's another stat. I don't know if you guys remember that Indians team in 01 where they were down by the Mariners, but 11 runs. I don't know if they came back and actually beat Seattle Mariners. And I don't know if you guys know any of the players, but I think Colbert Cabrera had a walk-off single to left field, and Kenny Lofton scored, and evidently they won 11-10. So, I mean, you can't that's unpredictable. It's even the World Series. We were up 3-1, and some questionable decisions by the managers, if you ask me. But I think, again, I would have to say that it's unpredictable for baseball. So that's just what I think.
Sorry, Jared, but
agree.
I was rooting for the Cubs in that world.
No, that's it. It's fine. It's your team. If you like the Cubs.
I thought you were a Cleveland fan, Josh.
Hey, wait. Indians are my favorite American League team.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you got American League and National team. I see.
Over there.
But the Cubs are my number one team in all of baseball. I'm not going to deny that one.
Oh, jeez. Over the Indians?
Jeez.
But it's Cavaliers over everybody for me.
Yeah.
That's how I've always grown up. So
nice.
I mean, I think like Jared was saying, baseball you can't really predict. I mean, you can predict. They're going to hit it and either have a single, double, or triple, maybe a walk off. But I mean, hockey, I would agree. I mean, I played hockey for 10 years and I watched NHL growing up my whole life, and I was a big Washington Capitals fan growing up, and Ovechkin was my favorite player. But I mean, who knew what Ovechkin was going to do? I mean, he was crazy. But I mean, yeah, I think NHL is pretty unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen next. If there's going to be a fight, if there's not going to be a fight,
right?
If there's going to be someone get thrown out, who knows? But I mean, I think all the sports are pretty predictable.
Fair enough. Okay, so Tampa and the Lakers both won championships inside a bubble with no fans. And, Major League Baseball is doing somewhat of the same, where in the AL they have no fans at Petco Park. But actually for the NLCS and the World Series, which are both at Globe Life Park in Texas, home of the Rangers, they are allowing fans. But since, these teams are winning championships in the bubble, do you still feel like their championships are valid, or do you feel like they should have an asterisk next to them because, like, the NBA didn't get to complete their full season and Major League Baseball only played 60 games instead of the traditional, 162, and, NHL had to postpone their season and play inside of bubbles. So do you feel like the champions this season are legit, or do you feel like, they're not legit? I can't think of
I think they should just be happy they were able to complete their season and have a season. I mean, looking at football, they're, again, lucky to even be playing. I know.
Hey, we have a game going on tonight.
I know. We're in the middle, right?
Yeah,
we're in the middle of one.
Titans were winning, I think, last.
Titans and Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, and the Bills have to turn around and play on Monday against Kansas City. Have fun, Buffalo.
6 days later.
Yeah. I saw there was no Thursday night game this week. Is that true?
Well, that's because the Thursday night was supposed to be Kansas City at Buffalo.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it.
And then all these shenanigans happened.
Yeah, but getting back to answering your question, I mean, they should be happy they won and just had a season. I know, I know it wasn't the easiest to probably watch the Lakers and LeBron, but I don't know. It was. I mean, good for them. That's what I gotta say. And the Tampa Bay Rays are in it for baseball. So imagine the Lightning winning that as they won, and then they got the Rays possibly going to the World Series. Maybe they got a lot to celebrate in Tampa Bay.
I know. What the heck?
And the Super Bowl's in Tampa Bay, I believe.
Right. Actually,
Yeah.
Raymond James Stadium. Yep, Raymond
Yeah.
James.
and the host team has never been in the Super Bowl. Did you know that one?
I did know that. Yeah.
Darn it! I thought I was getting tripped up with that one. And coincidentally, the Super Bowl this year actually falls directly on my 24th. So
Nice.
yeah. So
Hopefully the Browns will be there, Josh.
I know. We'll get into that. So wait, Jared, you didn't give your thoughts on it.
I would like to just agree with Matt. I think that, everybody should be happy that we got sports, in the beginning in February when this occurred, it's just, this whole thing was just crazy, none of this, no one would have thought we would be having a reduced season. Some thought we would have an 8-game NFL season, and it's just, be thankful that we actually got sports and, something to, be thankful for. That's all Matt said it already.
I would say, everybody says NASCAR was the first sport back, and I'm like, no, it was not NASCAR, because I'm a huge UFC fan. It was UFC who brought it back first. Damn it.
Right.
But we were just talking about bubble form teams, or I should say leagues going into bubble formats and all that. Do you think that the NFL is going to be forced to go into a bubble format, or do you think they can just continue their season as is?
I don't know. As the way it's looking, the Titans had outbreaks, Patriots had outbreaks, pretty much Chiefs outbreaks. They may be forced to go in a bubble, but there's a lot more people involved on an NFL team as opposed to a basketball team or hockey too.
Yeah.
But, so I don't know. They may be forced to somehow find a way. I know baseball's kind of in a bubble as well.
Yeah. Right.
So they may be if that's the way they're going to finish out the season, then that's how it's going to be, I guess.
Yeah. I have thoughts on this, but I'll let you go ahead first, Jared.
So, yeah, I think just what we went through, a couple weeks ago, how Tennessee, just how they delayed the game, and they said this morning that there was no, testing, positive testing for COVID, which was great, because if that happened again, there would be some serious precautions with, how the NFL is going to take the next few, 14 more games, or how many, 11 more season. Yeah. So, it's great that, we've got, this underway, but I think they should take some more serious precautions, because, again, if something happens later down the road, like week 10 or week 11, do we cancel the season, because you're going to lose a lot of money. A lot of owners, they want the tickets for the fans and, TV rights as well. So a lot of things to, be concerned about, But.
Yeah. And I think, with the bubble format, with the NBA, it was easier because they had a majority of their season done. So they were able to, bring in 22 teams, which maybe that was a little much because, Washington had no chance of making the playoffs because they were without Bradley Beal and John Wall. And Phoenix and Sacramento, San Antonio, they were highly unlikely. So, but I just think with the NFL, maybe it's a little too complex to have right in the middle of the season to go into a bubble. I just don't know how the logistics would work with all that.
I don't know, and that's tough, and they're traveling every week. So
Right.
It's not like they're gonna have to stay there. So it's not like they can come and go, obviously. But
Right.
I don't know. I just saw this morning or today that they're going to have game day testing now.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, so this will be able to in the morning. So this will be able to give them a better idea if they can play or not.
Right. I'm actually surprised they didn't do that right from the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah. I was at the game on Sunday with reduced fans, and it just had me thinking, because, you have the great fans out in Seattle, the 12th man. You have the loudest stadium in Arrowhead, and they have reduced seating or reduced fans, and Seattle has no fans, and other teams across the league are doing no fans. I don't know if you have the same feelings, but I'm like, I know the coronavirus is at different levels across these states and all that, but I just wish the league could come up with some sort of league-wide policy to say, okay, everybody can have fans at certain levels or everybody can't have fans. Because to me, at least, it doesn't seem fair that the Browns can have 12,000 fans and Minnesota, for example, can't have any fans. That just seems like an unfair advantage.
I think it depends kind of what state they're in, depending on, what their precautions are and regulations, depending on how many they can have in a stadium. So it could really differ.
Yeah, so, I would just like to see something like that, but I think you might be right that it's just I don't think you can. But now let's get into the main topic, because that's what we're all here for. What the heck? First of all, God, saying first of all reminds me of a specific story from high school, but let's not get into that. Shout out to our buddy Zach Lawrence. If he sees this video and he hears me say first of all, he'll know exactly what I'm referencing. Good times. But I was at the game on Sunday against Indianapolis, and everybody was saying, oh, the Colts have the number one rushing defense in the league. And I don't think we racked up that many rushing yards. I'd have to check the stats.
Yeah.
But, Baker looked good early in the first half. Or for the first three quarters, I should say. But something goes wrong with him in the fourth quarter. I don't know what it is, but, it's like he gets the yips. Because it's like, dude, you look good through the first three quarters. All you got to do is keep playing the same way and just close it out. You don't have to be flashy. And it's like, what are you doing?
I mean, I thought he looked pretty good throughout the whole game. I mean, that was the number one defense in the whole NFL, and I thought they did a good job running the football, as well as, Baker, they say game manager. I'm fine with him being a game manager, honestly. I mean, if he's doing his job right. He's hand the ball off to Chubb or Hunt. Well, not anymore Chubb, at least for right now. But
and the ball to Dearness Johnson.
Yeah, Dearness Johnson or anyone. But he's getting the ball in the hands of his playmakers, and they're making the plays. So I think he's done a good job throughout this year.
Right.
I think he's only gonna get better. But I mean, that was a tough team, and Dallas was that was a big win. Dallas. I know they've been saying Dallas is depleting or whatnot, like the defense. But yeah. I thought that was two good games back to back.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't really want to read too much into this 4-game winning streak for the Browns, because other than Indianapolis, they haven't really played anybody. I'm sorry, but Cincinnati's going to be the doormat of the AFC North.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're going to ruin
Washington and Dallas are in the worst division in football. I think
that's a toss-up, that division. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for Dak Prescott, though.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's terrible.
Feel so bad for him. Are the Cowboys going to be able to do anything the rest of the season with Andy Dalton as their backup quarterback or as their starting quarterback?
I don't
That's a
know.
tough one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's
They
been,
just
with
signed Derek.
Cincinnati for 10
Oh,
years.
go ahead.
You got to remember that. Yeah, you got to remember he's been in Cincinnati for 10 years under Marvin Lewis, and that offense fit him. So we got to remember he's in a new system right now as a backup. He's got to be a backup to one of the highest. He's going to be probably the highest. Is he the highest paid? Josh, I'm not sure about Dake. Is he?
Dak? No.
Yeah.
No, but
he's playing under the franchise tag.
so he's playing under a pricey tag right now. So I mean, he's looking for an extension because he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. There were some thoughts that he was going to be traded to Cincinnati for the number 1 overall pick last year, and I was like, "What?" But you got to remember. But I think
I did not hear that one.
I think Andy Dalton under Mike McCarthy. I don't know who their offensive – is it Kellen Moore still, Josh?
Yeah, it's Kellen Moore.
And Rod Marinelli's defense, I mean, that, like you said, that's the worst division. I think they'll win 7-8 games. That's what I think.
It's sad that the winner of that division gets to host a playoff game.
That is really sad.
Yeah, that's pathetic. Actually, their defensive coordinator is Mike Nolan.
Oh, it is? I thought it was Marinelli. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. But I'm surprised the Cowboys haven't fired Mike Nolan because he
was a head coach of the Niners a few years back, and he didn't do well. So.
No. But what happened to the 49ers? Like,
Yeah.
Is it just
Jimmy G goes out and they go downhill.
Is it just them getting bit by the injury bug, or is it just like the league figured them out?
I think it's a bit of both. I mean, you lost your starting quarterback, and you've got a ton of play. I don't know if Sherman's injured. I haven't seen really
I think he is.
much of the roster, but I mean, you can't even beat some mediocre teams, and you're hurt badly. That's kind of on them, but I don't know. Maybe it's the injury. Maybe it's what you said. They figured them out, but
I mean, you look at what happened with the Rams. They had this amazing, amazing offense. They get to the Super Bowl, and New England's like, nope, you're only going to put up 3 points.
Yeah,
that was the most boring Super Bowl.
Hey, it's
ever.
a new year, Josh. Who knows what teams could be good one year, and then next year they go downhill. We know that as Cleveland fans.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
But
it's looking uphill for us. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we have our whole division, counting out Cincinnati. Sorry, Jazzy TV. You still got to pay off your bet next week when my Browns travel to Cincinnati to take on your Bengals. I'm not letting you off the hook. But forgetting the Bengals for a second, the AFC North has an undefeated team in the Steelers. They have the reigning defending MVP in Lamar Jackson, and they have maybe the surprise team of the AFC in the Browns. And we all have 4 wins.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know about you, but I know we just played the number 1 defense in the league, but I feel like Pittsburgh's defense presents a bigger challenge for us because you got TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, Cam Hayward, who can all get after the passer, and then Joe Hayden, we know what he can do because he's a former Cleveland Brown. Minkah Fitzpatrick, which Miami is probably looking back and going, why did we give him up again? What? And then Devin Bush. I mean, the Steelers' defense, they haven't played great this season, but we know that they're a very difficult team to play against.
They're always tough, no matter what the score is. When you're traveling down to Pittsburgh, who knows?
Right.
It's always up in there. But I think it's going to be a good game overall. I mean, Browns are coming off 2 big wins.
Mm-hmm.
I expect a good game. I mean, I think it's going to be really aggressive, and I think it's going to be tight, close scoring game.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah. I think the offense for the Steelers, you got to look at and probably guard what's his name? Chase Claypool. This guy had 3 touchdowns in the previous game. 4.
4.
I thought it was 3. He set a record, and you're looking at the defense. I think the offense is probably, Big Ben's coming back off of that injury last year against, the Patriots, or was it the second game, the Seahawks?
Seattle.
Yeah, I know. And I knew he played the first game, but I didn't know if he got hurt the second game.
No, don't worry about it.
So you got to remember that. And then their running backs, they got James Conner, they got Snell, and that offensive line with Villanueva. That's pretty tough against our defense, which has struggled. And I don't know if people think Sendejo sucks, but he's the guy that's leading us in tackles right now. So
yeah, but Sendejo seems to play out of position a lot.
Yes.
And like, it's like you'll see the opponent's receiver run right by him, and you're like, dude, go follow him. Like, do something. Don't just stand there like a statue and be like, yep, I'm just painting a picture here. I'm not paying attention. I'm like, dude, you could have made a play. What are you doing?
Yeah, the secondary is definitely a concern. The Browns defense. So
yeah,
I don't know. That Jared, you bring a good point. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Especially with Greedy Williams, though, and the other guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Listed on IR today or yesterday.
Yeah, he's a John Dorsey pick, and you think, is he turning into a bust? Because he hasn't played a full season. He's played 12 games last year, Josh, or something like that.
I'm not sure.
And he's kind of like Njoku. I mean, both of them, you thought were great players, and they just can't stay healthy. So I mean,
it's a big part of it.
Didn't we try trading David Njoku in the offseason?
Yeah, it didn't go well. So
no, it did not. And then
keep him.
But I like the tight ends we have with Austin Hooper and always forget
Harrison Bryant, the kid.
Yeah, he's been a big surprise to me. I really enjoyed him. He was like a 6th-round pick, right?
Yeah, from FAU.
I kind of like a school, kind of like a no-name school, honestly.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, if you want to talk about a no-name school, whenever I tell people I go to Notre Dame College, they're like, "Where?" They're like, I'm like, okay, I just go to the one in South Bend. I'm like, okay.
Not
Notre Dame of Ohio, Josh.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta say of Ohio, then they know the difference.
Yes, but even if I tell them I go to Notre Dame of Ohio, they're like, what are you talking about? There is no Notre Dame of Ohio. I'm like, yes, there is. But no, I brought that up because you were talking about like the no-name school and all that. We actually had a couple players try and go to the NFL draft. I don't know if they made it or not.
There was something I don't know, when I was there in Regina, there was a thing, a sheet that said, like, the football team who made it, and they had some guys on the practice squad or tryout, like you said, Josh, and I don't know if they made it or not, but the football team was pretty good when I
we made it to like the Division II semifinals or something.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, I remember when you were with me at Notre Dame for like a year or two.
Yeah, it was nice.
I know.
Yeah, at Ashland, we had Adam Shaheen now on the Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
He went to Ashland. He was a big receiver for us. And then Jamie Meter, also an Ashland grad.
That guy.
Jamie Meter's on the Lions, correct?
That sounds familiar.
I know. I don't think he's any longer on the Browns.
No, they
I
made
don't know.
a bad move cutting him.
Yeah.
He was the reason why we won that game against the what was it, Jaguars? No, the Chargers. My bad.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
What, when we had?
They owned the 1-15 season.
Yay!
And then Hugh Jackson jumped in the lake the next year. So
yeah, I was when the Chargers missed that field goal. I was actually in Arizona.
Really?
Yeah, with my family. I remember that because that was the year where the Cavs had that crazy Christmas home game against the Warriors.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm still mad at Kevin Durant that he even went to Golden State. He was such a wussy.
That was the same year the Indians blew a 3-1 lead, though.
Hey, I have a Cubs hat. You want me to go get it?
If we talk about that, I think that they should have started that kid Ryan Merritt, though, at least one of those games. I think that was.
Yeah, they should have actually.
Yeah.
But that's my take. I mean, Francona used Kluber way too much.
Yeah, the Cubs. If you used your ace pitcher too much, the other team's gonna be like, okay, he likes to use this pitch. This is a hittable pitch. This pitch is not a hittable pitch, and yeah.
It's like going back the Cubs probably watched game film of Kluber saying, this is why he struck me out on a 0-2 or 1-2 curveball or a slider. They
Right.
watched game film. In Game 7, they got to him in the first inning early. So
Right. So I actually was writing something about this. At that time, home field advantage for the World Series was determined by whichever league won the All-Star game.
yeah,
But if it had gone off if it had gone off record, it actually would have been the Cubs who had home field advantage. So I don't know how much that would have changed that World Series or not. Because, the Cubs wouldn't have been able to use Schwarber as their DH for games 1, 2, 6, and 7. They would have only been able to use him, as their DH for games 3, 4, and 5.
remember Joe Buck would always love to say his name though. I mean, he's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He said his name at least 5 times.
I actually just listened to a book by Joe Buck. It was called Lucky Bastard.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was actually a good book. You should check it out.
All right.
Nice.
Did you watch the Thursday night game against Cincinnati, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you see that he got inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Yes, that was
I
great.
did.
Congrats to him. Yeah, he's a great commentator though.
Wait, so I have a question about that. Is he gonna get an actual bust in the Hall of Fame, or how's that gonna work? Because I don't get. I was so
Not sure.
I have to look that. I would assume maybe I would have to look that up.
Yeah, because
is Al Michaels in the Hall of Fame, Josh?
I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Because then I would think that they would probably have them in Canton in a small section, maybe. But I don't know if that's where their Hall of Fame. I don't.
Maybe they have a commentator section or something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's something I have to look into.
Yeah, I really don't know, so I'll look into that and let you know. But let's get back to the Browns now. So we know that we're a run-first team. But we're doing a good job building our passing game off of that. But do you feel like we need to get Odell more involved, or do you feel like we're wow, I'm stumbling over my words. Do you feel like we're giving him enough passes and enough things to do? Whoever wants to answer that is fine.
Yeah, you could go first. I mean, I feel like I'm talking a lot.
I think we've really gotten Odell involved a lot. I mean, with that pass with that reverse play from Landry to touchdown to Odell, I think that was good. I mean, he had, 3 touchdowns, I believe, against Dallas, 3 or 4. But no, I think we're finding roles in Stefanski's new offense to incorporate them better. I think we're slowly implementing. I mean, I know Higgins is starting to get involved as well. So I think they're doing an okay job right now, and I think it'll just continue as the season goes on.
So, yeah, like what Matt's saying, I think we're slowly getting OBJ involved. You got to remember, we're really talented on offense because there's not just one guy. Now we lost Chubb. Now we're implementing more focus on Hunt. Mm-hmm. Last week with the ball, we gave Hunt 20 carries, and Dearness Johnson got how many carries?
I want to say 10 or 11.
So, I mean, yeah, because you got to utilize our backups because, I mean, you just can't keep running the ball with Hunt, and that implements more passing. And we all know Baker, if he passes more, he's going to stumble on throwing an interception. And, people calling him a game manager. I think this offense, it fits him, and it fits Stefanski because he's big on huge play action. And that's what Baker –
we saw that with him and Kirk Cousins in Minnesota last year.
Now you look at Kirk Cousins in that Minnesota Viking offense. I know a friend of mine, she really misses Stefanski, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm sorry that your Vikings are doing terrible, but Kirk Cousins is probably having a down season. Why? Because he lost his, offensive coordinator, and what was he, a running back coach too for 12 years for them?
Yeah. And
So,
and the Vikings lost their best receiver, Stephon Diggs, to Buffalo.
yeah. So I mean,
Mhm.
it's rough for them because I don't
Right.
know if they'll be a playoff team this year under Zimmer. So that's gonna be tough.
I think I have like standings boards.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings are 1-4 this season.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
They had an opportunity to beat Seattle, but they didn't get the fourth down because Dalvin Cook, I guess, was injured. And then maybe the MVP of the league, Russell Wilson, says, "Oh, you're giving me time? Okay, I'm going to go down and score." I think Russell Wilson should win MVP this season. No disrespect to Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. And Aaron Rodgers is playing on an absolute show for Green Bay. But come on, you can't argue with what Russell Wilson is doing, can you?
So I would like to go back to what you said with Russell Wilson. There was a thing in 2018. I don't know if this was true or not. Someone said that we offered the Seahawks our number 1 pick for Russell Wilson. Was that true?
I don't know.
I think I may have heard that too.
Someone sent me that in a link.
I mean, hey, the Browns could have had a lot of different quarterbacks. So
yeah, think about this. We could have had Carson Wentz, which I don't. Right now, it's looking like it was a good move to pass on Carson Wentz.
Yes.
He can't figure it out with the Eagles.
No, he can't. No.
He
ties with the
maybe it was smart of them to take Jalen Hurts. But the next year we could have taken Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
We trade that pick to the Texans. Although I've heard recently that we were actually interested in taking Mahomes.
Yeah.
But Kansas City said, no, we're going to beat you to it. And we've seen how well that turned out. Although somehow the Chiefs lost to the Raiders last week.
Yeah, there's a lot of upset.
Hey, it's the year 2020.
Yep.
The
Unpredictable.
year happens.
Yeah.
Like the Browns actually being good when they have very little fans in the stands.
Exactly. Watch them make the playoffs, and they're only going to be able to have 12,000
right
in the stands.
Right.
That's Cleveland's luck.
Dude, that would be awful. It's like, yay, the Browns win the division. Here's the problem. You're not allowed to host any fans.
Yeah.
Which, do you like the new rule that only the 1 seed gets a bye week into the division round?
What was it before? The 2nd seed too?
Both the 1 and the 2 seed got byes.
I don't know if I like these new. I mean, I like the rule that we got an extra playoff, an extra team into the playoffs, but I don't know if I want, I think it's fair to have a 1st and 2nd team byes, but I don't know about just
right.
But I don't know.
I mean, you don't see it in any other playoff where a team gets a bye though. Like the number 1 seed in the MLB, you have the wild card, but that doesn't really mean like the 1st seed gets a bye because they still have to play in the LDS, But like if you look at like the Stanley Cup playoffs or the NBA playoffs, the 1 has to play the 8, the 2 has to play the 7, 3 has to play the 6, 4 has to play the 5. So the NFL is the only league that I know of, at least in pro, where somebody gets a bye. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I mean, there have been anomaly years where the wild card has somehow won the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 42 or Super Bowl 45, for that matter.
Or it's like in baseball, with a couple of teams as wild cards sneak in and they win the World Series.
Yeah. I can think of a couple examples like the Giants and Angels 2002. They were both wild card teams.
Yeah, yep. I was thinking of that.
Yep. 2014, both the Royals and the Giants were wild card teams.
And the Royals were on the verge of losing in the wild card or divisional round, I remember. Was that?
Wild card against Oakland.
Yeah, I was like, why? They were up how many runs, and they came back and beat them, and I think it was the final game.
Yeah, well, it was the 1-game wild card. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dude, sports is bizarre right now, just in general, and recently, for that matter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
They're
you
just
just
doing
don't.
everything they can to be able to have a season, and
I
however that
know.
shakes out.
Are you
Shakes
looking
out.
forward to the Big Ten only doing a conference only schedule, or you're like, or do you wish we would have gotten that Ohio State Oregon showdown and like I think Michigan was supposed to play Washington, and Notre Dame was supposed to play Wisconsin at Lambeau.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I think they should just be happy they're playing. But I mean, I think Ohio State's gonna pretty much dominate the Big Ten, if not dominate. I mean, they do have some big games against Penn State. I think that's
Week
week
2 in
2. Yeah, week
Valley.
2. Yeah, in Happy Valley, that's gonna be a tough one too. They're I think currently ranked 9, Penn State,
Yeah,
or 10,
9,
9. Yeah, and
10.
we're 6. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know, and I was shocked being 6 too. I was like, but once they start playing games, I think they'll jump
Right.
up.
I think I saw recently that they're like Ohio State's 4 now, actually.
Are they 4? Okay,
Yeah.
I saw last week. I think North Carolina was 5 in the AP poll.
What?
Yeah,
You're
North
okay.
Carolina.
Wait a second. I gotta look this
Maybe I
up.
missed. I thought I saw North Carolina was 5, which blew my mind. But I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, of course, Michigan's going to be a tough game at the end of the year, but it's always a tough game. But I think they got a good shot at winning a national championship. I think.
Hold on.
Don't quote me on that. That's just what I saw.
So these are the official rankings according. So you got
Yeah.
Clemson, Alabama. Oh,
AP top 25, number
Yeah.
5, North Carolina.
yeah. Oh, you were right. Ohio State was 6.
Yep, 6.
Oh,
Penn
I was
State
going off
9.
of the coaches poll where Ohio State
Oh.
is 5. My bad.
Yeah,
But
Jared, would you look at the AP poll top 25 or the coaches poll? I think you'd look at the top 25.
Is that like like what they all think? Like the coaches come together like
Yeah,
as an
I
opinion?
think that's more coaches. Yeah, I kind of look more towards AP top 25.
I have
which
a
is the
question.
official one, though? Is it the AP top 25 or is it the coaches poll?
True. I don't know. I mean, they're going to re-rank. I think the first ranking for the college football playoffs in mid-November, maybe
Something like that.
something
I
like
mean,
that.
you
Yeah.
got a big showdown this weekend as Georgia
Yeah.
plays at Alabama.
That's me a good game. That'll be tough.
I'm sure College Game Day is going to be there. So.
Oh yeah, they already announced it. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
In Alabama.
I was at Michigan at Ohio State like 2 or 3 years ago. And I got to see College Game Day. Like that was an item on the bucket list for me. Like,
Nice.
I love watching College Game Day, and I'm like, God, I really want to be there and just be part of the crowd and like be able to say like, hey, I was on College Game Day.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, and now obviously that College Game Day isn't what it used to be, and who knows how it will be. But no, I always like watching Game Day.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Big Noon Kickoff at all on?
Not really.
Fox?
No.
I watched it a little bit last week, but not too much.
God, it feels like we're just sitting at our lunch table at Lawrence.
11, 12 comments right here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments, and Kenny, our family friend Kenny Curlan's just having fun, and the Bengals fan I was telling you about, Jeff Stewart, he goes, glad to see your Browns doing good. My Bengals will stay in the basement. LOL. Hope y'all beat out the Steelers and Ravens, to be honest. And my dad goes, okay, so I want everyone's take on the Browns thus far this season. 1, why was Baker showing more confidence in handing off the ball against Dallas, but not as much against the Colts? Was it him or was it the play calling?
Well, if I go back and probably look at it, I think it's because we had Chubb, and we get him involved more. I think with the running game, it's efficient. He's effective. I mean, the guy's in my opinion, he's one of the best running backs, maybe top 5, compared to almost Jim Brown. And I think that he could be, on that type of level soon. But I mean, after that turf, and Dallas has that type of turf where, it's funky, it's weird, and you get injured. We saw that with Dak Prescott. And I mean, it's the injury bug. But I think your dad's right. I think Baker found confidence in giving it to his running backs and Kareem Hunt and Chubb. But at the Colts game, he had to open up more passes. And I think Stefanski, if he does that with the passes, it'll result to last year having Baker throw, more INTs, which I don't want that. But again,
nobody does if you're a Browns fan anyway.
No,
yeah. I think they were going up against a good defense, so maybe he was feeling a little more pressure. I don't know, but I mean, I think again, he's just every week he's learned more and more about the new system. He's been through so many coaches through his last 3 years, so give him some credit.
Yeah, you got to cut him a little bit of slack.
Yeah, a little bit of slack.
But I've said this on previous video collaborations that I've done with other teams, YouTubers, like, Baker Mayfield for me has been like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where, he comes in week 3 against the Jets as a result of Tyrod Taylor getting injured, which I was actually at that game because my family has season tickets.
Nice.
So he comes in, plays fairly consistent for the rest of that season. Had some hiccups, but granted, it was his rookie season. Played well under Freddie Kitchens, and so the Browns are like, okay, we'll make Freddie Kitchens our head coach. And bring in Odell and Olivier Vernon, Sheldon Richardson, and have all this star power. And everybody's like, oh, the Browns are going to go to the AFC Championship. They're going to win the division, blah, 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 blah. We get 4 primetime playoff – or I almost said 4 primetime playoff games. No, I'm sorry, 4 primetime games. We go 2-2 on those, although we should have been 3-1 if we had actually scored the touchdown against the Rams.
Yes.
But
and about that game, Josh, I don't want to interrupt you, but about that
game.
No,
go ahead.
There was 30-something seconds left of the game, and I would always go back and watch a lot of highlights from previous years because
I'm like you in that same.
And watching the game, you see Freddie Kitchens, and you start to question yourself. He wasn't the guy that called plays in 2018 because they're at the goal line, 10-yard line. He goes, how many passes? 4 times he's passing and no running by Chubb.
Right.
And you could have beaten.
Or like
I was at the zone. I'm sorry, Josh. You could go. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sorry for cutting you off. I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine.
But you're referencing that we're talking about that Rams game. I love that we went for the 4th down, but it's 4th and 9. Why are you calling a draw play?
Yep.
What?
They hired the wrong guy, and I remember saying they should have kept Greg Williams at least for a year, if you ask me. And then I would have said, Kitchens, let him walk because, again, I think Zampese and Al Saunders and Bob Wiley were all efficient and helped Baker out. You hired a Ryan Lindley guy who sucked in the playoffs with the Cardinals. Ryan Lindley had no experience as a QB coach, and that threw off Baker because he hired somebody with no experience. And they didn't let Monken be the play caller, but I mean, Freddie Kitchens only became the interim offensive coordinator because we fired Todd Haley and Hugh Jackson in week 9 or something of that season, which I didn't think Freddie Kitchens was the right choice as head coach either because, he had been the quarterback's coach or running back's coach, one of the two. And then he went to interim offensive coordinator, as we've been talking about. And then he goes to head coach in the span of 8 months. And guess where he is now?
On the streets.
No, he's with the Giants.
No, he's with the Giants. Yeah.
How do you guess it?
Giants.
Yeah, you know this?
Yeah, he's a coordinator.
Yeah,
right?
he's a tight ends coach.
Tight ends coach, yeah.
How do you like that as a downgrade from
What?
Tight ends coach.
It's funny, Josh. I'm not
Did you
lying.
miss that news, Josh?
Oh, I definitely missed that one.
It's
Yeah, he's
hilarious
with the
'cause
Giants.
He's a terrible
That's
tight end.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Think about this then. Jason Garrett, former head coach.
Yeah.
What happens? He becomes the offensive coordinator of the Giants.
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens, former head coach, tight ends coach for the Giants.
I got one word or two words. Three words. Fire Dave Gettleman, because that guy, I don't know, making some poor decisions for the New York Giants right now.
Okay. I hate to interrupt this conversation, but I just got breaking news from the NFL app. The New York Jets are releasing Le'Veon Bell.
I saw that too. Adam Schefter reported.
Yeah, I did.
6 minutes ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I heard this morning they were trying to trade him, but guess he's gone now.
Who do you think I don't know if anybody. I know some Browns fans would probably say us, but I don't see us wasting money.
I don't. Why would we sign him? Like Nick Chubb's gonna be back in.
I know, right?
In a few weeks. I like Kareem Hunt. Dearness Johnson looks like he could be something.
Yeah,
No,
I think we got some good running backs.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
So
I think we're good.
I don't think he would fit in with us.
Where
do you think there's a possibility he could go back to Pittsburgh?
I don't know. They've got a lot of running backs there. They got Snell and Connor, and I don't know who the third one is, but
yeah. So
what do you think, Josh?
So probably not. I don't know where he could go.
Matt?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of up in the air.
That's a hard one.
Let's think. What teams need a running back? I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't.
Do the Niners need a running game, Josh, or are they healthy?
I mean, that's how they got to the NFL or the Super Bowl last year. Is by running the ball, and then Kyle Shanahan decided to be an idiot and say, "Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo, you throw the ball," and we saw how well that worked out.
Josh, was that the game? The NFC Championship game was where Raheem Mostert had that career.
Yeah, and
so why didn't they run him more?
I don't know. It was working against Kansas City. It was working, Kyle Shanahan.
He can't be head coach anymore.
Kyle Shanahan's just an idiot. Because think about this. He's up 28-3 against the Patriots in Super Bowl 51. And all the Falcons needed to do was get a first down and kick a field goal late in that game. And then you don't have to worry about it, like any type of, comeback from the Patriots. Nope. He continues to throw the ball instead of running it. And then we skip ahead to Super Bowl 54. Your team got to the Super Bowl because of your run game and your defense. Your run game is working. Like, San Francisco was getting holes left and right. But you're going to start throwing the ball? What? I'm sorry. Kyle Shanahan's a regular season coach. He's not a playoff coach.
I agree.
Great.
I think you would think he would take advice from his dad, because this guy was a Super Bowl head coaching champ. He was with the Redskins as a vice president of football operations. You would think he would bring him on as some type of advisor, but I don't think he's learned. I mean, you learn from your mistakes, and he obviously hasn't learned from being in the Super Bowl twice. Once as a head coach and then an offensive coordinator. But I mean, again, just I don't know.
Yeah. I'm surprised the Jets haven't fired their head coach, Adam Gase.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Wasn't there a video of him on like Instagram or Vine where he's looking at like a bug or something, a fly? Was that last year?
I don't remember, but I do remember in his press conference when he was introduced as the Jets head coach, his eyes were just big. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, are you high or are you drunk?
Yeah.
Sorry,
hey, what do you think Greg Williams thinks of this whole thing? I mean, last year he was looking at us laughing probably, and now that he's basically in the same situation.
He might get another shot at being interim head coach,
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, the Falcons just fired Dan Quinn and their general manager.
Yeah.
I forget his name off the top of my head. They were never able.
Demetrius something, I think, Josh. I don't know. Demetrius.
Yeah, something like that. They were never able to recover from Super Bowl 51.
No. Especially with Matt Ryan, who would think that is he on the verge of being a Hall of Fame worthy career? I mean,
they don't even know if they're going to keep him or not, basically. What I heard today. I mean, it's up in the air.
Yeah, and I'm like, he's been there forever, and he's got good connections with Julio and Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we messed up on the Julio. I remember that day my uncle said, I want Julio Jones, and they evidently traded that pick for Phil Taylor, and I was like, oh boy. But,
and I don't think Phil Taylor's even in the league anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even remember.
Big defensive tackle, I think. I don't know what college he went from, but
I want to say he came out of Baylor.
I think you're right.
Maybe. Okay, that sounds right, yeah.
But, I love how free-flowing this conversation is. It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when you get three guys together. It's just like you have set topics and then, nope, we're going all over the place. But do you think the Browns are serious contenders in the AFC, or do you think it's just like it's a lock that it's going to be Kansas City?
And you can go first. I have a lot to say, but Matt, you can go.
I mean, I don't know. Based on 5 games, I mean, yet again, they haven't played. They're supposed to be teams like that. They're the Cowboys and beating the Colts. I think those are 2 big wins, getting them in the right direction.
Right.
And Pittsburgh's gonna be tough, and I think it depends kind of how they're gonna perform against Pittsburgh, and they got the Bengals after that away, then moving on to the Raiders. Yeah, so they got some. I mean, Bengals they should be able to beat, but
yeah,
Raiders, I don't know. That could be a toss-up based on what I saw last week. Them beating the Chiefs, who knows? I mean, they just got to keep playing well,
right?
Keep doing what they're doing, and we'll see. I don't know. It's a little early, I think.
Yeah. Quick question. Do you guys know when the NFL can start flexing games into Sunday Night Football?
That's a good one. I know my one someone. I'm in this group, AFC group, and they're saying that I think it starts now or something. But I don't know. They were talking about it, but I didn't really pay attention to it that much.
Because Matt, you just referenced the Week 8 Raiders game.
Mm-hmm.
I was maybe that the NFL would flex that game into Sunday night.
Maybe.
Because right now the Browns don't have any Sunday night games. They only have 2 primetime games, which was Week 2 at home against Cincy and Week 14 against Baltimore.
Yeah. That's a Monday night against Baltimore, right?
Monday night.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe. I think as the season progresses, they're going to – and if the Browns – I mean, it sounds like everyone – that I've listened to, they're starting to think the Browns are the real deal, and I mean, I think they've been playing well, and it's hard to argue that. I like what they're doing, and I think the further along the season goes, the bigger games, and hopefully the Browns are in those bigger games that they televise them nationally. But this is a big game on CBS today or on Sunday.
Yeah, Nance and Romo.
Yeah, Nance and Romo. This is a big.
Oh, Nance and Romo are calling this?
Yes, and Tracy Wolfson.
Yeah. I was calling for Nance and Romo to call the Colts-Browns game last week.
No, they had Spurdo and that other guy.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that, I don't know if you saw it, but I made a video on my channel CBS, you screwed up. Because instead, they had Romo and Nance at the Giants at Cowboys game where Dak Prescott broke his ankle. But I'm just you have the 3-1 Colts at the 3-1 Browns, but you're going to have Nance and Romo call the 0-4 Giants at the 1-3 Cowboys? Why? I mean, I get it. Romo's a former Cowboy, but still, come on.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about, the Browns' schedule. I'll share it with you. It's an interesting schedule coming up. So we had at Baltimore, Cincy, Washington, Dallas, and then Indy. And then, we're just starting the second half of our season. Pittsburgh, Cincy, Raiders, which since Pittsburgh is winnable, I would say. Cincy is very winnable.
Yes.
Yes, very winnable.
Wait, how? Oh, you said, I'm sorry, Nance and Roma are calling this game.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Steelers game
Okay.
this Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. The Raiders game is on Fox, which is somewhat surprising to me. And then week 9 is our bye week. Texans, that could be an interesting game because you got Deshaun Watson. So, I don't know. Philly, who knows what you're going to get with Carson Wentz.
You can beat them.
Yeah.
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 Jacksonville,
Jacksonville's a win.
Jacksonville's a win. All right.
Magic.
At Tennessee. So, I made a bold prediction in one of my live streams recently, so I can't take this back. I locked up my prediction that this game at Tennessee is going to be flexed into Sunday Night Football.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
I can't take that prediction back. It's locked up, set in stone,
I don't.
I just feel like that game could have playoff implications. Like,
Good. And again, Josh, this is late. This is week 13. We're going into week 6 now. So depending on where we were at in the standings,
Yeah.
it could be. Who knows?
who knows if we're even going to still be playing football by week 13.
Yeah.
True. It could. The NFL could shut down. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's not think like that. But then we got that
It's
Monday
2020.
night, right. Then we got that week 14 Baltimore Monday night game, which
That'll be
that's going to
big.
be difficult because the Ravens – I think I saw a stat the other day. John Harbaugh, since he came to Baltimore, is like 21-4 against the Browns.
Unbelievable.
And then week 15 at the Giants.
Definitely beatable.
Yes. If we lose at the Giants, something's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think we will.
You'll hear people fire. They'll want Stefanski fired.
Right.
Yeah.
And week 16 at the Jets.
Revenge.
Revenge for what?
Greg Williams.
Oh. Well, week 15 could be revenge for
For Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah.
Freddie
No,
Yeah.
for
We got 2 back-to-back games
OBJ. Dude, week 15.
in the same stadium.
No,
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Jared, you're forgetting. Who got traded from the Giants to the Browns? Odell Beckham Jr.
You also have to remember Peppers and Zeitler
Yeah,
on that team
Peppers.
too.
Yep.
Zeitler.
Oh, so Vernon was also.
Yeah, Vernon too. Yeah, so a lot.
And then week 17, home Pittsburgh. Yeah. There's a lot. I actually want to look at the Bills' schedule because they have an interesting stretch now where it's like they're at Tennessee tonight. Hold on, I just gotta pull it up. Here's their. Okay, cool. They're at Tennessee tonight, and I don't know how they won this Rams game. I really don't.
I was at I worked one of the ASU football games last year, and I was fortunate to see Justin Herbert, close up. And this kid, I think ASU accidentally came back and stunned Oregon to beat him, but Herbert was phenomenal. This kid's
Herbert plays for the Chargers, not the Rams.
I'm talking about the college. I was working at one of the ASU football games last year.
Oh, okay.
And it was a primetime game, and they promoted a lot of ASU. They wanted to promote ASU in the primetime college games, and they stunned Herbert, and they were like ranked 6 or 7, and ASU was really good with Herm Edwards. And
yeah, I remember that game. Oregon was fighting for the playoff, I think.
Yep.
And Arizona State just put a butt whooping on them.
You should have seen it at the state. Everybody was going wild, and it was berserk.
Yeah.
It's a good game to work, Jared.
I know.
I worked a couple of good games.
Yeah.
ASU should have probably made the playoffs, but they lost a couple of. But that's just me, I think.
Wow. Okay. I thought you were an Arizona Wildcats fan.
No, that's in Tucson.
Arizona
No, that's
State.
way far. No, near the Diamondbacks, though.
Yeah.
I got
Wait,
an Arizona State baseball shirt, Jared, when we
There
went
you go.
to spring training. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember you guys
Yeah.
telling me about that.
Yeah, that was what year?
20,
That was
2013, I think, right?
was it 2013? Okay, yeah.
That's when they had Michael Bourne and Nick Swisher.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
what was that pitcher, Josh? Brett Myers? Brett Myers?
I actually went when my dad and I were in California to see the Warriors, Kings, Lakers, and Clippers. Right in order. Actually, I went Clippers, then Lakers. We actually went to San Diego and went to the University of San Diego and saw the Indians play the Padres
Nice.
in an exhibition game. It was fun. But I love how this was supposed to be a Browns video discussion, and it's just kind of gone all over the place.
General sports talk, Browns.
Yeah, general
Life.
sports. That's how we'll phrase it. General sports talk with an emphasis on the Browns.
Of course.
But, okay, funny question. So, obviously, you're wearing, like, a Browns core zip, and I see the orange helmet. Do you feel like the orange helmet is actually a logo for the Browns?
I think it is.
Yeah, I think. I mean,
you got to remember, this has been around since the 50s with Otto Grant,
Yeah.
Paul Brown. So, I mean, why would we
Yeah.
want to change the logo in the team? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're just getting back to the traditional uniforms now.
right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I would just like to – for me, it's just – I don't know. I don't like the plain helmet. It's boring.
Or go back to Brownie the Elf.
yeah.
I'd like to see something on the helmet.
What do you want to see, Josh?
Wait, okay. We have all this dog stuff. Like we have Chomps, who is like one of our mascots. SJ, who is an actual bull mastiff. There's a section at our stadium called the Dog Pound.
That's true.
You're right. No, yeah, maybe.
Why not put that dog head on the?
You're right. Could. Who knows?
That's some good ideas, Josh. Yeah.
I mean, there was a little bit of time where I'm like, if we have all this dog stuff, let's just change the name of the team to the Cleveland Bulldogs.
Hey, you're not wrong.
I mean, okay, I quickly got off that bandwagon because it clearly wasn't going anywhere. But you get my point. It's like, we have all this dog stuff. Why are we called the Cleveland Browns? Like, I know it's because of Paul Brown, but still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we jump over to the Indians. Are they going to change their team name?
Yeah.
In the logo? I mean, I'm not a fan of this block C, but
yeah, I don't know.
For a while, they were saying maybe that they go back to Cleveland Spiders, and they started on their Twitter account. They started taking pictures of spiders, saying it's a sign. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, but I'll just say this. If the Indians are going to change, okay. So starting with Washington, they obviously are now the Washington football team.
Yeah.
But
the Blackhawks already.
Yeah. So the same thing's going to happen with.
The Blackhawks,
the Indians, the Chiefs. So the same thing's going to happen with it.
Right.
So
I can tell you that the Blackhawks are not have said they're not changing their name.
Exactly.
The Braves have said they're not changing their name. Which last I checked, they were destroying the Dodgers 7-0.
Yeah, I'll look up the scores for you.
Yeah, look it up. The Chiefs said they're not changing their name, but they're going to look into the Arrowhead shop.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt you, Josh and Matt, but Braves bottom 7 are up 7-3 over the Dodgers, while Rays in the game 3 are down to the Astros 1-0, bottom of the second. Yarbrough's pitching to Gurriel right now.
Can we just call them the Houston Asterix?
Yeah, they should. I think they should strip that World Series back in 20. The Dodgers, I think.
I thought they took away their rights to make the playoffs at one point. Did they not forget about it or something like? I
don't think so. But I don't think they should give that World Series to the Dodgers. If you're just,
they could just say there's no World Series winners.
Right.
It's like the '94 strike,
Yeah.
Right. Like, because if you're going to take the World Series away from away from the Astros, who's to say the Yankees wouldn't have been there instead of the Astros? Because you saw when the ALCS was in New York, the Yankees whooped them in all 3 games.
Or if we should have won that ALDS. I remember I was working for the Indians that year, and I said I should have worked the ALDS, but I put my schedule on the ALCS, and man, I missed an opportunity to work the divisional game, which was, I mean, look at it, they done, but
yeah,
they should have went to New York and they made that Aaron Judge, wow, he made that catch. The guy's like 6'8". Come on, and the Yankees don't have a tall wall in right field. You know what I'm talking about? Where he robbed that home run off of, I think, Perez or Lindor.
Something like that.
I don't know, but sorry.
No, don't worry about it. We've all gone on a little bit of tangents tonight about various things. I went on a freaking tangent about Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, yeah.
So don't worry about it, dude. But I'm excited about the AFC. I feel like, I don't know about you, but I feel like the AFC is actually more exciting to watch this season than the NFC.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Absolutely. No, I would agree. I mean, our division's tight. I mean, I think it's one of the best divisions right now in the NFL.
Yeah.
Record-wise and competition-wise, I mean, other than, the Bengals are going to be the Bengals. And
about the Bengals, I think they're going to ruin Burrow with this.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They have no
Exactly.
They have no offensive line.
Josh, I think I seen mock drafts. I know it's too early for mock drafts and everybody knows that, but they're taking this kid number one or whatever, number 2. They're picked an offensive tackle, I think, but I forget what school he's from. But I mean, that's what they need. Why start him and then I don't know who their backup is, Finley or Lindley.
I want to say it's Ryan Finley from North Carolina State.
No, that's Zach, and I think Zach Taylor might be on the hot seat, but I don't know. This guy's doing something.
This is only like his 2nd year.
Yeah.
Like, there have been some curious coaching decisions. Like, the Giants, why did they hire the Patriots special teams coach?
You could have upgraded to Garrett. Why? I agree.
What?
Like Freddie Kitchens. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I wonder where the Giants would be if they had Freddie Kitchens as their head coach.
5-11.
He'd have to get a new sweatshirt.
Yes. But, I don't know how this would work. But actually, yes, I do. Okay. I want Indianapolis in the AFC North because I feel like that would be fun to play them twice a year. So, I'm sorry, Baltimore fans, but hypothetically, you move the Ravens to the AFC East, move the Dolphins to the AFC South, move the Colts to the AFC North. There, you're done. What's wrong with that?
Remember back in, I think, the 60s and 70s, the Colts were Baltimore.
Yeah.
And then they switched. So, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, the Colts were in the same division with the Browns. Why don't they do that, and move maybe the Ravens,
I know, but, I mean, the only problem with that is you're destroying – if you move the Ravens out of the AFC North, you're taking away arguably the best rivalry in the AFC North in Steelers-Ravens. I want Browns-Steelers or Browns-Ravens to be a rivalry. I do. Like, when I do these video collaborations with, a Steelers fan, which I'm planning on doing that for this week, or when I'm doing a video collaboration with Engraven Vids, he's a Baltimore Ravens YouTuber, I wanted the games against them to mean something and be like, for maybe the division title is on the line, or playoff positioning, or the game is at least competitive. But it's like Pittsburgh dominates us consistently. Yeah. Baltimore consistently dominates us. So it's like, do the Browns even have a rival? I have to say maybe Cincinnati.
Yeah, I agree. It's different
because it's the Battle of Ohio.
Yeah, it's different from what they had in the 60s and throughout the 80s and 90s, where Belichick was the head coach and, he destroyed, Pittsburgh. And then, ever since the return, we haven't done so well against Pittsburgh. I mean, they just showed a stat saying Baker passed, the amount of wins as Ben Roethlisberger. And they're saying that's not really something to be accomplished about. But I mean, you got to look at the small things, and
Yeah.
you know,
I
they don't-
mean, I think the Browns have not beaten the Steelers in Pittsburgh since 2003.
yeah, yep.
Think about that for a second. Like, it's a
terrible-
house of horrors for Heinz Field is like must have like ghosts or something around it that like when the Browns go there, it's like they get scared or something.
It's all those terrible towels.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was in Pittsburgh for a Browns Steelers game like a few years ago. I want to say like the year we graduated, actually. And the Steelers absolutely whooped us as usual. And, you know, I wanted to get a terrible towel just as like, no, just purely.
Josh.
No,
Burn it.
hold on. Because you see a lot, like, take a look at that Dolphins pennant. I got that when I was at, you know, a Dolphins game last year against the Jaguars, or the Pirates pennant. I got that when I went to PNC Park. I didn't see a Pirates game, but still, I was at PNC Park. So I'm like, okay, I want to get something Pirates. And that Yankees pennant, I got that when I was at a game at the old Yankee Stadium. So that's the only reason I wanted a terrible towel, is just like to commemorate my trip to Pittsburgh, you know, to say like, yes, I was at Heinz Field. Not because I'm a Steelers fan. Hell no. Dude, look at all this brown stuff behind me. You think I'm a Steelers fan? Hell no. But you get my reasoning.
I get you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I went to like Arizona for the Diamondbacks, and I was at the Cardinals game last year. You know, you kind of want to take like a souvenir with you. I mean, you're not really a fan of that, but you're just taking a souvenir and saying, hey, I went to this stadium. It was nice, you know, but I'll tell you, there was a lot of Cardinals fans at that Browns game, though. More than the Browns, but
yeah, like I got this Warriors pennant when I went to a game at Oracle. It was actually the year before they beat us. I got this 76ers pennant at Wells Fargo Center, and this Wizards pennant, I got that at Capital One Arena when I went to a Wizards game.
nice.
But I think I've told you guys this. I have a lifetime goal to see a game at every NBA team's arena. So
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I'm up to like 23 or something.
Wow.
Nice.
But I try to collect some piece of memorabilia from every arena that I go to. So I got to go back to Minnesota because we didn't actually see a Timberwolves game. Like, we're in our seats. You know, we're getting ready for the game to start. But Target Center had just recently hosted like a college ice hockey tournament and like Disney on Ice. So condensation was coming up onto the court, and you see the guys trying to clean it up and all that. And a few minutes later, the PA announcer comes on and goes, "We are sorry to inform you, but tonight's game has been canceled." And my dad and I just
what a bummer.
Yeah.
like, we had flown into Minneapolis specifically for the game.
Of course.
And we're like, are you kidding me? It was the first canceled game in Timberwolves history.
Wow.
And we're like, oh, you got to be flipping kidding me. Come on, don't do that to me. So for me, it doesn't count because we were at the arena, but we didn't see a game.
Yeah.
Fair.
Jared, didn't you say you had a lifetime goal to see a game at every MLB stadium or something?
It would be nice. I mean, I've been to Arlington to see the Rangers at their old stadium. I went to Milwaukee to see the Brewers play the Indians a few years ago. Don't know, Diamondbacks. The Giants was funny. I mean, we saw Bradley Zimmer's dad one in a bar, and we got to talk to him, got to talk to Trevor Bauer, I feel like the guy knows me personally because I actually saw him at a Mongolian place and told him good game. And he's really a nice dude. I mean, you would never thought that, you know, his dad was talking to him, and I didn't want to interrupt him because he's with his I think was his girlfriend. Don't correct me. I think it was his dad, but I mean, the guy is super nice. And I remember talking to him in San Francisco. He dropped all of his stuff down with other signings, and he focused one-on-one with my dad and brothers and I when we said, "Hey, remember us from the Mongolian place?" And there was a connection.
Wow.
I will always like him because, again, he's one of my favorite pitchers in the Major League Baseball.
Even though he like chucked the baseball over the wall in Kansas City.
Hey, I mean, he was upset. Hey, I love that in the attitude in pitcher. I mean, former pitchers Matt and I, we hate when we
Oh yeah, I remember you guys being on the
good old Lawrence Lyons chair.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when I played for my JV in college. I got in like 4 games, but I mean, it was the opportunity, and I liked it. But I mean, if you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, and you're gonna have that,
Yeah.
So it was something interesting. So.
Yeah, Trevor Bauer's probably gonna win the National League Cy Young though.
No doubt. He deserves it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he'll probably leave Cincinnati and go somewhere else because I don't think the Reds can afford to keep him.
No, they should, but they won't.
Yeah, because it's the Reds. Shane Bieber won the freaking pitching Triple Crown for the first time since like 2006.
Yeah, I think he's a better version of Kluber, if not,
agree.
That type of.
Yeah.
I don't know who to compare him to. Honestly, maybe Feller, but.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And then I don't know what it is. Like Kluber got touched up against the Yankees in the playoffs when he was having a Cy Young year, and then Shane Bieber, he's having a Cy Young year. We just referenced how he won the pitching Triple Crown. That's the first time somebody's won the pitching Triple Crown since Johan Santana in 2006. And the Yankees destroy him in Game 1. So I don't know what it is. Like, is the Indians' playoff window closed?
Well, you got to look at the payroll. I mean, there's a lot of guys like Santana. I think's done. I'm not correct. Don't correct me. I don't know about Santana if he's gone.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Second baseman Hernandez, I liked him. But again, I know a lot of people miss Kipnis, and I'm not really a big Kipnis fan. I mean, he's a nice guy. Went to Arizona State, but I mean, he didn't do anything for us in the World Series, and I mean, got to go back to that. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been losing a lot of money throughout the last. Or I mean, they're getting rid of these guys because they don't have the money. So I mean, but one guy I thought was really good, especially in that Yankees series, Naylor, who they got for
Clevenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Josh Naylor. But of course, the burning question with the Indians is, what are we going to do with Lindor? Do we trade him? Do we keep him for another season and try and trade him at the trade deadline, like what we did with Clevenger?
Here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to trade him to LA for that prospect Lutz and their pitching prospect Dustin May, who's I think even pitching in the postseason right now, and then his fastball is like 98, and I don't know. That's what I would have done.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I think they'll eventually move him.
Yeah.
I hope not. Because,
I agree. I think he's a hell of a shortstop. But
yeah. Oh, Seager or Lutz?
No, I was talking Lindor. About. Matt said he didn't want to trade Lindor.
Oh, my bad. I missed that part. Sorry.
Sorry.
Last I checked it, it's still 7-3 Braves against the Dodgers in the 8th inning.
What's the is it Rays? Are they still losing?
I don't know.
Here, I'll check it out. Yep. Astros still beating them 1-0. Top of the third though. It's on TBS, I think. Did you know Joe Buck is calling that NLCS though? I like when he calls the games.
Yeah, he's calling the NLCS, but he's gonna be in Tampa Bay on Sunday to call the Packers.
Bucks, that's a good game.
Yeah, I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady.
I feel bad for Rodgers, though. He deserves another ring. Hey, poor guy.
I mean, with the way Rodgers is playing right now, he might be able to get it this season.
And LaFleur, he's a decent head coach.
Yeah, came from the Titans.
Yep. And we were looking at his brother, Matt. or was it Mike? Mike, one of them
I
from
don't
the Niners. We were looking at him. He was a Niners passing coordinator, but I don't think he was really serious for the job.
Yeah, I know we were looking at like Robert Saleh for the head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jim
I'm not
Schwartz.
Yeah. Which, thanks again for correcting me last week. I
No,
forgot.
it's fine. I got confused too. So
For some reason, I thought we got Joe Woods from Arizona.
no, because I was thinking of Vance Joseph. I think those guys. I don't know. It confused me too. I thought
Yeah.
Vance Joseph was with same, but I mean, I was like Vance Joseph, but
Yeah, I meant to say that to you earlier. So we play a 4-3 defense, not a 3-4.
no, yeah, it confuses me too. I'm
Yeah. I try to know my stuff as best I can when I do
Yeah.
video collaborations and all that. I know we kind of talked about this earlier, but I like our cornerbacks with Denzel Ward and Greedy can't stay healthy, but when he's been on the field, I like him. But what I like best about Denzel is, usually when he's healthy anyway, because he's has a little bit of health problems as well. If we're playing Cincinnati, we're like, okay, Denzel, go play against AJ Green. Or like when Antonio Brown was with the Steelers, we would just say to Denzel Ward, go guard Antonio Brown. So it's like, I would expect for Denzel this week to be probably on Juju for the Steelers since, I don't know.
maybe Terrence Mitchell. I know Terrence Mitchell is, I think, in the place of Greedy. So you got to
I
think
think Terrence Mitchell's in
the
place of
veteran quarterback is probably going with
Claypool.
maybe. I mean, it depends. Yeah, I don't know what Woods got dial up for that defense though. 'Cause
Yeah,
I know Miles is what, second in sacks with 6 or
something like that. Yeah,
so I don't know. And we're out with Larry Ogunjobi, so
he can't.
You can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy. It's like we're having a good season, but our guys can't stay healthy. It's like, come on.
Yeah, our defense
2020,
is banged up. Yeah.
Yeah,
it is. I don't know.
yeah.
2020.
Do you feel like we need to make some sort of trade for like for a linebacker or something before the trade deadline?
Possible. Maybe ship a pick into Joku, or I don't know. It depends what we
What
can get.
linebacker would you want if we were to trade for a linebacker, for
There
example?
was this thing in an NFL group that this guy made a trades for all these teams, and I saw the Browns, and he said Blake Martinez.
Oh, from Green Bay.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, Blake Martinez, is he going to be efficient? Would he fit the team? I don't know.
Or is Blake Martinez with the Packers still, or is he with the Giants?
I think, yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I don't know. I think you're right. You might be with the Giants, but I'm not 100% sure. I think he might be with the Giants, though.
What about you, Matt? Is there like a linebacker or like another position that you're like the Browns should trade for?
I mean, I think I think once everyone gets healthy, Grant Delpit was I was really looking forward to watching him.
Yeah, I wanted to see him.
And that was just a tough break. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
I like Malcolm Smith, though.
Yeah.
Former Super Bowl MVP with the Seahawks.
Yeah, your buddy.
Yeah.
Should get an extension. Who knows?
I mean, I like Taki too. Sione Taki.
He's been good for us.
More of a DE, though, right?
Yeah, I think he's more of a DE. Plus, I just like saying his name. Sione
Taki.
Every time I think of that, I think of the Takis. Those, you know what I'm talking about? Those Takis where they're like Cheetos, but they're like hot. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah,
But they had them out in Arizona. I'm sorry. Not a topic over there.
Whatever. I don't know why, but randomly today, I kept just saying the name Leroy Jenkins. I don't even know anybody with that name, so I don't know where I got that from.
Yeah.
I just kept randomly saying it all morning, and my dad looks at me and goes, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But, I would say AFC North is the best division in the AFC. Would you say it's the best division in all of football, though? Or do you still feel like that's the NFC West?
You
I
think
would
the
say
NFC
NFC
West is the best? I don't know about the NFC.
Yeah,
I think whatever Tampa Bay. Is that the West? Tampa Bay.
South.
South. I think they might, because you got Brady. You brought Brady there, and then you're battling Bridgewater with Matt Ryan.
That's a good division too. Yeah.
I don't know about the West though, because you got Kyler Murray. You got
Seattle.
Goff.
The Rams.
It's tough.
Yeah, I would probably say NFC West is the best, followed closely by the AFC North. I mean, the NFC West swept the Browns last season. We went 0-4 against them. So,
Yeah.
But this is fun. I'm just enjoying this, honestly.
Yeah, me too. It's good to talk.
It's good.
I know. And we're just live on Facebook just talking. This is gonna be on my YouTube channel later.
Hey, maybe later in the year, towards hopefully playoff time, we can get back on and discuss our takes.
Yeah, for sure. But we can start wrapping it up if you want, or we can keep going, whatever you want to do.
We can wrap it up.
All right.
Whatever you guys.
I mean,
You're hosting this, Josh.
Yeah, too, but
I mean, I know I'm hosting this, but I want to be good with your schedule. So if you guys have to be at work early tomorrow morning or whatever. So,
no, it's fine. Just whatever.
Yeah, I think you can wrap it up. That's good. Yeah.
I just saw that Tennessee. Wow, Tennessee's blowing out Buffalo. They just scored a touchdown. It's 35-16.
Gosh, I was looking something up on Facebook. This one person said Josh Allen had a tip pass, and they're like, yeah, he's short, someone said, and there was a laugh emoji. So
yeah,
throw that out.
I remember leading up to this game, there were analysts on ESPN saying that Josh Allen should be in the MVP discussion because the Bills were 4-0. Yeah, he's not going to be in the MVP discussion after this game.
No. We'll see.
Yeah, and then the Bills have to quickly turn around and get ready for Kansas City on Monday.
Losses right there.
Yeah. I mean, they're hosting Kansas City, though.
They got Singletary as the running back.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And they got Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs, which I have no idea why Minnesota traded Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. Who knows?
There's a lot of dumb teams in the NFL.
They go 4-2 maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. But I think it's just about time to wrap it up for tonight. So do you guys want to give closing statements?
Thanks, Josh, for having us. I've had had fun with talking sports with you guys, and hope to get back on the show soon.
You will be. Don't worry. You have my word.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. I mean, appreciate the time. I mean, really appreciate it, man. Thank you for everything.
Really great. Sorry.
I just said it was great talking sports with you guys, and it's brings back memories,
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how many of our Lawrence friends are going to come on Facebook and see this.
They could be watching it. Who knows?
Yeah, they might be watching right now going, oh, my God. I remember they were we were like the Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Sports Room. I certainly had fun hosting it and being part of the conversation. We talked Browns, certainly, but we went all over the place. But it was a good conversation. And until next time, I'm UngarToTheMax, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Sports Room.